Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I am here with a Booktube celebration. You may have seen the Pay It Forward on Booktube tags that I put together. I've done 8 of those, plus a 500 plus version. But today I'm going to be going back to my blogging roots. When I was blogging on Caponomics from 2011 until my recent hiatus, I would highlight a particular blogger that I enjoy reading, and I would talk about all of the great attributes that they had to their channel. I would concentrate on one at a time. And I'm going to do a little bit of that today, and today's feature a booktuber that I want to celebrate, and I have a high amount of admiration for, is Jean from Jean Bookishthoughts. I'm sure that most people in the booktube community are fond of and are inspired by Jean, and I can definitely attest to that because massive booktubers, there's about, I would say, 10 of them, roughly speaking, give or take. But a lot of them talk about YA, fantasy, and slight offshoots of the two. Jean, on the other hand, is known for talking about anything and everything. And it seems like she's well-rounded in anything that she brings up, which I think is crucial to being a relatively high-profile booktuber. She is closing in on 40,000 subscribers, and hopefully, by the time this video goes up, she reaches 40,000 subscribers. But when talking about and celebrating Jean Menzies from Jean Bookishthoughts, I'm going to be concentrating on 7 areas. That includes Jean the Booktuber, Jean the Student, Jean the Enthusiast for Ancient World History and Literature, Jean the Feminist, Jean the All-Around Reader, Jean the Creator, and the books that I was inspired to pick up because of Jean's videos. And I'm going to begin right where I made mention to, and that is her as a booktuber. And Jean, like a lot of other people, started out exploring the YouTube community, looking to have a YouTube channel about anything and everything. Just use it to talk about things that you were interested in. And she experimented on multiple occasions, and then she got the knack for talking about books and booktubing, which, even getting into talking about books, it was something that she was exploring, but then when she realized that this is what people were interested in, she started to ponder into it, and it really took off, and look what we see here today. But aside from being a booktuber, she uses her channel to talk about her studies and also encourage people to engage in positive habits as a student, and how to work your way toward becoming a scholar, which that is what she has her mind set on. Specifically, she's looking to get her doctorate in ancient history. If I'm not mistaken, she was looking at 4th century Greece, and she's very interested in the gender roles that were had during that time. The one thing that you should know as Jean the Booktuber is that she is firm She stands proudly for what she believes in, and she encourages other people to do the same. One of her greatest attributes is that she has done an outstanding job bringing so many booktubers together, not just locally, which it's a bit easier in the UK to get together because of distance. Someone like myself who lives in the United States, it's such a huge country that it can take a much greater period of time just to make your way around. What it takes to get around a country like the UK, it's just about the amount of time it takes to get around the state or neighboring states. But regardless, Jean has done an amazing job bringing this particular faction of the Booktube community together, the ones that are well-rounded, and she is that kind of person that would say, talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, and the rest comes natural. I think that anybody that watches the first few videos that they come across from Jean is going to come to the conclusion that she is a passionate student and she's passionate about her studies and digging deeper into the information that awaits regarding ancient history. And I think that she encourages anybody that is viewing her to take that action to delve deeper into what it is that they are studying. And she gives encouragement, advice, and creative tips in doing so. One of the videos that stuck out to me was when she was talking about ways to manage your time as a student. And she took the camera out and went for a walk. And where she was living in Edinburgh before she moved to London, that's such a beautiful environment. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that when I get to the creative attributes. But the fact that Jean is a student and is connecting that to her Booktube channel and doing it so spectacularly is one of the key reasons that she's not just a brilliant booktuber, but she's also a great role model. With the topic of ancient world history and literature, I must say that it was an area that I got into when I took World Literature Part 1, which explores from the Epic of Gilgamesh to the Old English literature. I believe I don't even know if we got to Beowulf when I took that class. We went over Beowulf in British Literature 1, but after watching Jean's videos about ancient world literature and the group reads that she set up, where they would read and talk about works of ancient world literature, it encouraged me to pick up more of it and incorporate it into my collection. Granted, I have the world literature textbooks that include the particular pieces at hand, and I also own the Barnes & Noble edition of Aesop's Fables, which is one of my absolute favorites. But there were some areas I was a bit hesitant to explore because of how dry it seemed. But after watching Jean's videos, not only did she make it sound more accessible, but she also made it relatable to today and how commentary and literature from before the Common Era can be applied to, and not just appreciated, but also attached to the events that are taking place today. I had brought up the fact that she used to conduct group reads of particular works of ancient world literature, but when it comes to group reads, she is shifting a bit more attention to an area that she's always had great passion for, but it's really beginning to reflect in her discussion and her activities a little bit more, and that is Jean the Feminist, which her most recent group, probably what should be the second most familiar feminist book club, only behind Emma Watson's Our Shared Shelf. But I think that Jean would make an outstanding Hermione Granger if they ever remade the Harry Potter films. That's a suggestion, too. But her group, the Feminist Orchestra Book Club, which was inspired by the drum logo, where one is banging their drum to assure that they are being heard, loud, clear, and assertively. This group features a lot of noteworthy individuals. I'm a member. I need to read a bit more from the reading list. I wanted to read I Am Malala and incorporate that with the award-winning challenge that I set for myself. But I'm going to make a point to get to what it is that she is bringing up. The thing that she does outstandingly with her group and with her channel is assure us that feminism is an everybody issue. It is a human issue. It means that all of us are equal individuals, and I think that with selections such as Take It As a Compliment, the fact that people, it goes over these humorous stories regarding people being judged based off of gender and gender stereotypes and just gender bias, which most of them have to do with women, because unfortunately women are subject to more gender bias and stereotypes. But in retrospect, being equal is it's a very straightforward quest that people have when it comes to achieving a true equality. They've read so many other works of feminist literature, and they're not just novels or works of fiction, but it also includes works of nonfiction and essays. There's A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, who is probably one of the most well-spoken, prominent feminist writers. And I'll be interested to see the kind of poetry that they bring up. There's Kate Tempest, who Jean has really said a lot of admirable things about. I think one of the most important attributes that Jean has and contributes to the community is that she is an all-around reader who has a great verse in whatever it is she's talking about. She talks about fiction, nonfiction, essays, poetry, short stories, and it's just remarkable the selections that she makes. If you watch, I would say that if you watch 3 of her videos, you will be able to, you would come to the conclusion that while she goes through her phases like all of us do, you're going to find the complete package regarding genres and what it is she likes to talk about, whether it's literary fiction, popular fiction, regardless of the genre. And I think that a lot of us are willing to take that step because we think to ourselves, if Jean can do it, then so can we. I think that the reason that Jean's channel is so remarkable is that she's so creative with her videos. And recently she got the job as creative producer of Macmillan, which is a publishing company in London. She lived in Edinburgh for her whole life, and she made the move to London to take this particular job. Before her, Lena from Just Kiss My Frog was the producer and the host of the show Book Break. Starting this September, Jean took the role as being the creative producer and host of Macmillan's Book Break. And I see a great amount of reflection of what Jean has already contributed to this particular channel. It goes to show you that Jean enjoys reading ancient world literature and feminist literature, but she also enjoys Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and by Douglas Adams and Room by Emma Donoghue, and a list that keeps going on and on and on. Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But as I made mention before, she engages in really creative ideas, such as going out for a walk in one of her videos in order to demonstrate time management as a student. What she can do with Macmillan includes the hands-on approach to why it's so great to be a reader. She also engages in interviews, not just collaboration videos with fellow booktubers, but she had the honor to interview Tony Robinson, who recently came out with a book, and how it was a dream come true for her. She seemed very contained, but I'm sure that she was about ready to erupt in excitement. But it was with him that she was inspired to study ancient world history and ancient world literature. But it's just remarkable what she's done with her channel, and how Macmillan has gained a lot by hiring her as their creative producer. Jean has also been very instrumental in some of the books that I added to my book collection. Earlier in the video, I made mention of the fact that she really got me into ancient world literature, and how after years of thinking that it was dry, with the exception of Aesop's Fables, and maybe a little bit of some other tales, give or take. Like, I felt that the Odyssey by Homer was relatively intriguing. But I really, there was a lot more attention that I shifted my concentration to after watching her videos. I'll show you the books that I felt inspired to pick up because of Jean's videos. The first one, and the first suggestion of hers, was the complete poems of Sappho. After watching Jean talk about Sappho and exploring some of Sappho's poetry myself, and realizing how remarkable it was and how it really embodied a strong, free-willed female voice, I had to pick up a collection exclusively of her poetry, and I thought that the best one that I came across was this version that was translated by Willis Barnstone. And unfortunately, much of or what she's written has been damaged and destroyed, but what remains are these fragments that, while they're separated, are just so beautiful and powerful, and it's something that I'm really inclined to explore, and I really want to learn much more, as much as I am acquiring much more. Another thing that she recommended and actually conducted a group read of is The Frogs by Aristophanes, which was translated, this version was translated by Richmond, Lattimore. And it has to do with the people's quest in order to seek out and find literary giants from the past, which this is an ancient work in itself. It's quite something, what they saw as holding literary acclaim. And I'm really interested, I really like that idea of getting that particular point of view that is inspired by time, but yet it's something that one from today can read, enjoy, and not question too much. And The Frogs is it's a play, so that makes it pretty attention-grabbing. Something that I got because I was inspired by Jean's passion for ancient world literature was the Orestian Triology by Aeschylus, which this was translated into English by Philip Vellacott. But it was a mix between that and the fact that Robert F. Kennedy, when he was addressing a black community in Indianapolis about the slaying of Dr. Martin Luther King, he quoted a line from Aeschylus, who he deemed as being a favorite poet of his, and I found that it was so moving that I put the quote on my... I liked the quote, and it's now on my Goodreads page among the list of quotes that I enjoy. And another thing that I was inspired to pick up because of Jean's videos were the Faber New Poets collections. These are pamphlets. They are a few dollars, but they're so attention-grabbing. I know Jean brought up the last 4 of them because they come out 4 per year. And I managed to get the others. I managed to get 6 more. There are 16 total. I have 10. I was trying to get 6 more, but any outlet that I come across, it's out of print, which hopefully I can find a way to get to the other 6. Hopefully they pop up somewhere. But I really like the idea of getting a sample of this nature of a particular writer or a poet in this case, and learning so much about what it is they have to offer. That's pretty much a background of what Jean does with her channel and with her online activities that spread her love for literature, ancient world history, feminism, and anything else that interests her. But what makes Jean so remarkable is the enthusiasm that she has for these areas, and how her great desire is for anyone that's watching her videos to feel that enthusiasm and practice it as well. One of her most recent videos that really caught my attention was a video called Who Can Talk About Politics? Which that can easily be a slanted topic, but she says it so gracefully and in such a straightforward manner that anybody can talk about politics. Anybody should be encouraged to talk about politics. And she feels that it's everybody's duty to talk about politics, their political beliefs, what they feel they can bring to the table. There are things that I may not bring up on my channel because I don't feel that it reflects the direction that I want my channel to go in. But I feel that that's exactly the case. I think that what Jean is trying to say with the with regard to a political discussion or whatever it is that one talks about, they should be able to bring up their message and sing it as loudly as they can so that others are inspired to follow that particular message that they are sharing with the community. And I think that it is booktubers like Jean that make this community a much better place. And it's a reason for people to film the video, to upload the video, and to keep doing it. And whether you pick up a massive amount of views, or you just acquire faithful subscribers, or most importantly, very good friends. I'm going to leave a link below to Jean's channel, to Pan Macmillan. I'm also going to leave, I may leave links down below to some of Jean's videos that really stuck out to me. This may be somewhat of a long video, but I think she definitely deserves a long video of this particular nature. And I'll end this video with a toast proposal. And no, this is not spiked up orange juice. This is just orange juice. So, thank you for watching this video, and a big thanks to Eugene for making Booktube community a much better place.